Hopefully, this is straightforward. Put that there. Are we live? The OBS says yes. Does YouTube say we're live? Yes, it does. Okay, microphone quality should hopefully be coming out fine. I'll move this here. There we go. Hello, welcome back. It's Callum. You know, Callum Highfield YouTube channel. There must have been a thought somewhere where I branded it my full name. That's probably going to backfire later. But yes, today in this live stream, I'm going to be animating. I'm going to be continuing on from the previous live stream when we did the parkour animation. It's currently at draft 60. It started in January. It's now December, so I spent the entire year working on this animation on and off. I have some feedback actually from my showreel comment section that I want to apply to this one, as well as double checking the feedback that I got from my mentor a month or so ago has been fully applied, and then just any kind of final cleanups. And if I have further time after that, then I'm going to go on and start working on the Kratos animation and improving that, or improving the new animation with the different walk cycles. So that is the plan for this stream. Like and subscribe if you want to catch me live, or just to stay in touch whenever I actually post these animations. I'm going to assume that that is small enough. Yes, I think it is. Any smaller, I don't think you'll be able to see my face. I don't expect anyone to catch this live, mind you. But if you do find this video, hello. So this is the comments I want to focus on that I got 12 days ago, that I only saw 4 days ago. Basically talking about the jump. So the start of the curve is perfectly fine, but the problem is as the character falls, the momentum shift is just far too great. Let me show you on here actually. Tear off copy. There you go. Oh yeah, not blend up. There we go. And now if I show up here. Yeah, there we go. So going across this jump, as he builds momentum, goes fast here, slows down here, all perfect and nice and dandy. Even if I stop it at 184, that's nice. Momentum's conserved. However, it's from here that this change here is just too great. Boom. It does flow much nicer now compared to the showreel, which is November, so it is an old copy. But last stream we focused on this roll. A 195. So now the character lands, we can actually see the individual poses of the roll, which we couldn't really before because how quickly it was going. Same way he comes out of the roll, and it's actually fully balanced now. Was maintaining that momentum and energy without losing that curve there. We could definitely improve those poses. It's very stiff, but at the very least, we got the arms moving not parallel to each other now, but we still need to offset the time because the arms it's almost moving the exact same time. I guess they're taking it in turns at the moment. But the bit I want to focus on is this bit. So I think how we're going to improve this, if I turn on motion trail 3. Okay, so that is my perspective view. I want the limit break 2. Tear off copy. There we go. So this here is the view you see from the actual showreel. 189 does look off, but it kind of needs to do that for the camera angle. The character turns down. But yes. So if I look at this bit going forward, lots more space is being passed in the same amount of time. He holds the pose at the top with some minor changes, but it's here. Oh, did not mean to do that. From 184, 185, definitely a bit crunkled up. And then he starts falling, but the change of momentum from 189, 191 it's just kind of too great. And also, it's a matter of fact, if the character goes forward, this idea of hitting a wall is coming up here, because this particular angle here is far too sharp for what's going on. So the character then kind of goes downwards here without going further forwards. And then whilst he does continue going further forwards on this part, one, you can't really see it from the angle, and two, it's just going too quickly. One, so you don't see any of this part. If I change that to 202 when he lands, to 184. So we just want that second. This is how quickly this bit of animation takes place. Which is not very useful. So I'll put that up there. Pause that. Show this. Give me all the... Do I have a proper selection set here? I have the basic movements. Translate, see, and rotate. Do I just have a select all? Not too sure, but we don't want the joints, we don't want the geometry. There we go, we just want the pieces. CR nodes down here. It's everything on the character. Ooh, one person's watching. Hello. Okay, I want to turn the motion trail back on. But first off, create set, quick selection set. All parkour. Add to shelf. Okay, so now we can turn on the motion trail again. We can select everything like we did before. Now, which pose do we actually want to keep here? What's the best way forwards here? I'd say definitely if I need to lighten this angle a little bit. Where's the momentum change? Yeah, the momentum change is here. It's happening too fast, too much. What's happened to 190? 194. Okay. And what does 189 pose look like? It's alright, we can definitely do better here. Yeah, 190. .187 is slightly further away. 185, 186, 187. Okay, so the distance between 185 and 187 is similar to 182 and 185, but we're travelling a lot less there. 3, 4. So 186 should really be about... It's probably slightly higher up actually. And 187 is here. Okay, we're going to stop this looking like a wall's being hit. Pose at 191. Yeah, actually, let's add some more time between 191, because from 194 it kind of evens out. This is going to hurt my computer by doing this. There you go, just let it load. How does that look? Let it update. A little bit better. I think he changes poses a bit too fast here. That's not 192. We definitely want to increase... Yeah, 189 should be higher up, I reckon. We might have increased the time a bit too far to the bottom. Yeah, that looks fine. It's 193. 192, this is where we change the poses. It's just timing at this point, and then we'll change the poses. Yeah, we want 190 to still be a bit faster, because we want that change in momentum, but he shouldn't really change momentum until he actually hits the ground. And mind you, all that extra time we just added was literally here, so we've added the extra time here and it still looks quick. You can actually see this pose now. You can definitely improve it. Right, so what do we want to drag behind? The feet are dragging and tucking it into a ball on the way down. Yeah, they're still out here at this point. I want to be able to see that knee control. And that knee control. If we could... If we angled the feet, as you can see in the view up top here, this foot's a little broken. And maybe this one more close to the ground? No, because we lose a foot at that point. So we want this foot to be... Yeah, there we go. So that's now 187 is now deliberate. Because at this point when they're travelling almost the exact same time. You push off at the exact same time. So if this foot's going to be out longer, then we want to actually show that when it leads. Probably have him kick it upwards and outwards. Okay, we're breaking his ankle trying to do that. And push this one more inwards, but then we want it to be more pointy here. Yeah, so that foot's already faster there. More pointy here. What about in? Don't want it over. If anything, we want it more tucked. Where's his knee joint? There it is. Can I actually see his... Because we're twisted on his insides, but we can't actually see it in the frame, which is what matters here. But to achieve this, we're kind of broken his hips. Tween machine. In fact, we could definitely improve the hips from here. Yeah, his hips want to look something like that. So we'll 50% his hips here. Yep, that's better. So 1.5. There we go. He's still falling at the same rate, but by making his legs lag behind, it will look like he's not travelling into the similar kind of space. Which... Yeah, 189 there. Paralleled again. So this one we really want tucked in at this point. Well, this leg, you can have it a little out. Okay, not that far out. That's looking a bit silly. That's fine. Then 192, we want him to be even more of a ball. So grab both of his knee joints, making sure we both have a keyframe on that bit, 192. And 195, they're already out here. Okay, a bit better. We've still got the same issue where right now he's kind of falling straight down. That's what I mean by a bowling ball. Like, it looks better now because you can see the legs go around to catch up and turn. But it looks this way because from this particular angle you can't actually see the sideways momentum. So actually, let's make a save of this before we do anything else. Save scene as Parkour 61. Save. Move the camera slightly here. Does that look any better? No, because you see here, from there to there, he's barely travelled in vertical space. But from this part, all the verticalness is here. And then bowling ball, which means we're actually going to have to increase. Like, I only got here and here to really work with, and the way I've tried to compensate it at the time was basically just have him go even faster here. But now he's actually come down. It's very obvious. Just remind you, if he's following this kind of arc, then he would also have to be following the arc over here. If physics, but he doesn't follow the arc over here. It's a nice little wee. And just because the up and down is changing speed, his, let's say, his left to right, his blue arrow, translate, should be consistent until he actually collides with something else, if physics is to be believed here. Okay, but that's good to know. Don't save. Making sure the mic is... Yes, mic is working fine. And we've got our original camera angle back. We've also tried to cover it up by the camera angle. Motion trail 3. I want to see this without the interference up top. Yeah. We don't want to make the drop any slower because that's going to really make it look weird. Okay, so what if we take the top part of the curve and we move it into space and we make the angle of entry sharper so we can really get this bit out here. So keep saying so. New habits, I need to stop. Parkour translates these. It can move you in space now. That looks fine there. It's 192, 189. Which means 180, 70, down, perhaps not that far down. Get rid of that there. 192 is the strange one here. I almost need a side view. Overgrab it. Side. Okay, that's looking better. Let it catch up. The top part looks fine. I think the bottom part, he changes poses too quickly now. Yep, that's all good. Up to 180. Needs to make him less bowling ball. Maybe there's more frames needed to be added. Yep, this part looks fine. If we go back to this 189. Yep, even 189 looks fine now. Because mind you, this is where we added the additional holds in the air. Even speeds up at 189. So the issue is not there. What if he gets into this pose a bit too quickly? Like, it takes him to 3 frames to get here, only 2 frames to tuck and ball. Like, from the side, this looks fine now. Where's my motion trail? I think the timing is fine now. Like, I've made it ever so slightly slower in the middle so you actually see what's going on. I think it's a matter of the poses are changing too quickly now. Too many poses in such a short space of time. How does it look without the motion trail? He no longer looks like he sees a wall. Just need to make a better transition from 185. Yeah. He doesn't twist enough between 185 and 189. He changes poses too drastic. And 192, 195 he becomes bowling ball. But we need the 195 pose to make this look alright. Add the motion trail back in. And a pure flat view if I can. I think 187, we don't want these legs this tucked in this early on. Same with this elbow. And as a consequence, this hand. Although what's going on here? Do we have a gimbal lock? No. We have an overlap here. Okay, a little better. What about 195? His arms are already open here. He just transitions, I think, between 192 and 195 poses just too quickly. We've added an extra frame between 189 and 192. Like, I think this works. But in 192 and 195... Okay, how would it save this again? How would it look if we added a second frame? And then we wait before we break it and crash it, although we did save, so it should be fine. There we go. How does it work timing-wise now? I don't know. It's definitely not feeling like a bowling ball anymore. It kind of jerks in space almost. Like there? Kind of a trial run. Just watch his backpack. I think that looks nicer. Okay, handle. Slightly off. But it's more consistent. All good. It's there, I think. He's probably holding. Actually, he's probably holding this pose too long, if anything. Everything but this. How does that look? Yeah, that's 185 down. It looks fine. And 182 up looks fine. Mind you, 185 and 187 poses look very similar. How would it look if we just 50-50'd it out? So we're 50-50'd it out, but we've left the hip control alone. We can raise those so the feet come in. Better. We've got a wall situation going on still. We've got the legs coming in now as he twists downwards. Pretty changing a bit too fast here even. This pose looks weird. What about this pose? Well, his shoulder's actually broken here. Yeah, about there. Oh, did I read? know what I did there. Did not mean to click that. It looks less warlike now. Like you can see the curve going up the top, pausing briefly, and then continuing to go down at speed. But it's actually going slower before because I've had 2 frames to the actual fall. You can see the posing. And we've made a narrower descent as well on the bottom. So he's jumping less forwards before forwards before he gets to the top bit, to give more space to fall backwards, so it's more in line with physics. So what looks weird? It's just a rotation. He's just rotating too fast. He's rotating too fast here and too slow here in comparison. Like, we've definitely done the right thing here, making him rotate too early. What is going on with your head? Okay, at least have this make some sense. Okay, that looks fine. Just looking at his head at the moment. And his head kind of swings outwards here. Got a very broken head here. I'm going to put that in. Oh, you can't actually see there we go. No, I can't see what's going on. Give me the head back. There we go. He looks forwards. We're basically tucking the head in early. Yeah, this is what's looking weird. 182 is fine. 185 is fine. 187 is weird. Yeah, the motion arc itself now is fine. It's the poses and the timing. This pose here looks very broken. Ignoring the head like that, in this bit here, it's actually the arms. This looks fine. And here we've got a few broken elbows. Although we're in FK, not IK. Yes. Yep. I'm going to carry that along. What about this bit? Yep, that looks weird. Carry that down, we'll fix the curve up for that. Here we definitely want to bring this more in. To match more closely up to this. We just don't think that's been animated. How does that look now? It's alright. And do the forerun, minimum point. Yep, that looks all good. Hey, 2 people watching. Hello. Alright. Yeah, that's looking better now. This arm here looks weird. Yeah, okay. What's going on here? If anything, that should be less bent or more bent. These arms all manner of broken. It's very far down. Mind you, the rest of the arm does this. Mind you, here is annoying because you can't actually see the arm in the pose. So this should definitely be more out, but then this needs to be more down. That now starts making sense why this has been bent so much. Want that to be more in. Catch yourself. Does this look weird? Yeah, so the arm is falling this way. Yeah, we're onto something. Yep, 185. You can really tell we haven't animated the wrists. 187. What is going on? Is this where the shoulder's doing all kinds of funky? Okay, that's better. We kind of lose the pose here between 184. Lose it to the leg. At this point is silhouette we're thinking about. If I move that there. Individually talking. Yeah, there we go, we're keeping the silhouette better now. Not perfect, but better. At this point, we really should be over here. Why does one side look a lot more deflated? Yep, that looks fine, although these feet in 187 look weird. Kind of just end up doing pose repairs at this point. Wait, it's down there now. It's almost like we've lost... Yeah, it's gone up. Like the intent is one be higher than the other, but we've actually increased it in space. Even that's technically an up increase. There we go. Does that look? It's a bit high up. Boom, boom. It's a bit lower. Boom, 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 boom. That looks better. How does it look in shot? Okay. I think it's also 185 is here, but 186. We've crunched up the body too much. Do that. I think we're losing track of the legs. I don't think this should be anywhere near this crunched up this early on. If they're gonna crunch, then it shouldn't be there. Crunch should be there. Better. It's good that we've added those extra 2 frames here. Alright, I'll just have another look at the motion trail. You can see it in slow motion. I don't think we're no, we're not hitting the wall anymore. It's going up and it's going down. It is going up, it's going down. I think we have the angle of forward to back proper now. Pauses at the top before going down. You see the main poses. So at this point we're just working on the in-between pose. Yep. Bit of a stretch here. Holding this pose. Holding this pose. You see the difference in speed even just playing this. And then his body starts falling as he's catching weight. He accelerates. This bit looks, yeah, here. Here now looks funky. It's gliding forwards in space here. H. Yeah, 196. Now if I play it. Yep. Watch it in slow. Ooh, that looks nice. I think we got it. Oh, thanks to this comment by Gosh. Oh. Hey. Let me read the chat. Speaking of the devil. Hi, how is it going your cog? Live streaming. It is going well. I took There we go. I don't know why this is showing this. Keyframe poor. Right. Let me actually check this stream is working. 2 people watching. It is going well. Why is it here? There we go. Oh, didn't mean to press that. Stream working fine? Yes, it is working fine, because that's showing this. We shall refresh this. Okay, everything's working. Everything's working fine. Now I can full screen this, close this. I think technical issue solved. But yes, hopefully you can see it. It's now looking like this. A lot of it. If I was to explain this one, a lot of it was just pose cleaning up with the feet, the in-between animation, the in-between frames, which were conflicting, and some, like here, I still need to fix with some silhouette errors. But mostly it was just the motion trail. I was to show that. Like the motion trail now is actually following the. The motion trail now is actually still going forwards as the character's going down, whereas beforehand 185 to 200 was going so steep in comparison to 172 to 182. This is technically still not perfect, as in 172 and 182 is still travelling further forwards than 182 to 200, I believe. Compared to the time bit. But this is much closer of an angle in comparison, and mind you, this was shortened. Here, so he travelled less distance. Yep, you see it there in the slow-mo. Alright, now, let me double check my feedback. Gets off the ground too quickly. I think I've solved that one. Coming out the barrel roll, jumps upwards. Fixed. Offset timing of arms. Yeah, that I need to look into more. Body moves as a block. Lost line of action. That I also want to have a look at. So, what this feedback is referring to is everything from 200, I believe. So, this section. Let me remove the motion trail. Like it's going, but it's looking a bit choppy and very basic in comparison. There's not a lot of overlapping movements here. It's very much moving as a single piece with not as much animation involved. But it's essentially just it's basically a run coming out of momentum. Now coming up from here. Hands on the floor, character rolls forwards on his backpack, uses a momentum to stand up on his feet. So this pose here we can definitely improve. Like if I think back to my life drawing poses, if we really increase the line of action change and then decrease it coming forwards here. No, that's not. There it is. Oh, what have I done? Oh, what's happened here? What have I pressed? Before we break everything, when was the last time I saved? Save 2. Docs. Parkour. Zooms. Half an hour ago. Not unhidden. Alright, we can improve this. When did I break that? In fact, what is even broken? Oh no, it's fine here. And mind you, I was just showing it off at this point. I've clearly clicked something that I didn't mean to. Okay, where was I on this part? Clicking that, yep, not broken. Not broken. And before I forget, I'll just 204 put in the extreme change again. Actually, yeah, that's quite a nice anticipate. So if I change the motion trail again. Yep, I like it. Okay, did I not respond to a comment? I did. Yes, it improved quite a bit. I think the curve could be improved a little more, as well as the spacing on the drop. I feel like it loses a little speed and weight. Yeah, no, I was thinking the same thing. It feels almost a bit too slow coming on a bit. Remember that everything is a ball. Yes. No, that I agree. And okay, let me go back to the motion trail, because you got this is the bit, this main selling point of the animation. This got to get this correct. Yeah, it's almost going a bit too slow here now, but we kind of need the space for the pose. What about if I revert it back to how it was with 192 and 196? Because all this extra fluffiness is coming from this bit here. So if I grab all of that, give it a moment. What I should have done is turned off the motion trail, because it's now trying to calculate all of the other end. And play. Yeah, because as it gets closer to the ground, he should accelerates because he's not going to hit terminal velocity from that distance. Okay, that's definitely better. Mind you, this is closer to what we had it originally. Motion trail free. Yep, speed. I just don't think we're giving it enough time to play some of the poses, but then if by increasing the frame range, we're then losing a lot of the speed. I want to play this animation from start to finish. Wait. Okay, jump, jump, jump. The first half I still like with the jump. I think he might be going forwards a bit too much in space at the very top. like here, and then not enough space coming down. Yeah, because we've got the hold, but the hold is almost too exaggerated, and here he doesn't feel like he's going forward at all. Which I think I know why. 182, 185, so we got rid of the additional keyframe at 184. He gets into this pose at about 179. And he starts changing out of that pose at 185, at which point he should be falling. Okay, so if I bring this down to 171 before the jump, and then 194. Yeah, so what's going on is his top momentum is stopping early, almost too early here. But then his bottom momentum, like he's continuing to go forwards in space here, but he's not going down enough. So I think the simplest solution would be to move this across and this up. How does it look like from, I know it's going to be weird from beyond this point, but if he went down from 182, mind you, he should be going faster now because he's got to make up for 185. Yeah, he's falling. Not like a bowling ball, but he's gaining speed on the way down. Let's see what I'm talking about here. So how does it look like with the first bit? Not quite. 182. Go back. We move everything up at 180. Oh. Yeah, that makes actually, look, that makes a lot more sense now. Because from 182 to 185, as he starts to fall, that's when his body starts to contort inwards. So what we've essentially done to increase the speed on the way down and to make up, we've made it sharper at the top and we've made it go out further. The only other thing, maybe 179 should have some more frames, because by 179 he should be, yeah, 197, 198, he will technically be touching the ground. So what if I add the... I think the curve from frame 185 could be a little more to the right. 185. More to the right. If I increase that rightwards, if I make that more right, then he's going to fall this way. Ever so slightly more forwards. It's how the spacing's looking now. Advances very little. Downward curve could be improved. That's the bit I'm trying to fix. Because I feel like the character takes too much flight when running so... The character takes too much flight when running so much and advances very little. So the character is airborne for far too long considering how much he's jumping. It's definitely a good idea that we've increased 195 back to where it was. Yeah, because I think beforehand it was going down a bit. I need to see what this looks like without the motion trail. It's got this springiness. You can see it here now. He probably springs a bit too fast here. Not enough here. Moink. Should have. .63. Here, 185, 187 doesn't work. Well, it's better than before, but here's the exact issue. Kind of. The first half of the curve is fine, I reckon, at this point. He's going a bit too high up, I reckon. All frames could go to the right from 185. Yeah, I've just pushed 187. That kind of makes sense. Trying to jerry meander around this, but yes, this is the steepness of the first half. Steepness of the second half is this. It's far too tight in comparison. I've been trying to solve this entire time, but by pushing everything up, we've actually just put it back to where it was. cutting this curve off. Then from 185, because it also means I've got to push all of this way. Okay, could I make this my life much easier? Just taking all the translate values. Save this before I destroy everything. Yeah, it does work like that. As long as the ratio is the same. This bit, so we had the right idea by moving everything up, but it's the ratio of which we moved everything up by. We know this method works, so we can very easily add on additionals. Alright, we've already saved our progress, so we should be good. You can see the curve of things up here, it plateaus there. So we need to increase all of this space between. We've already increased it. 185, 187. Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Definitely want to get your opinion after this. See. 92. $95. Ooh. $97 especially. All of this. How does that look now? Okay, so we've broken some of the poses in the actual, in the actual roll part, but if I was to just focus on the actual jump, what about now? Have a bit of the rolls for it to make sense. That looks better. It's not falling like a bowling ball anymore with the weight, but it's not floating in space like before. We shortened the time back where it was from 195 to the original speed and length, and we've dampened the top of it a little bit because it was going more up than anything else, where if he's running he's going to be going more forwards, which has just increased all of the forwards translate Zs from 185 onwards, between 185 and 196 or 198. You can see as it goes into the roll now. Refrain from 105 check. Could you send me the scene so I can change what I want to tell you? I can send you a sync sketch. Review it later. Okay, I think it works better now. Yes, those small changes make a big difference. Thank you, big gosh. By gosh. I'm glad it's got your seal of approval. Mind you, as a result, there's a few things we need to clean up, like we've broken the poses down here. Because we haven't actually changed the IK going forward, so I'm going to have another look at this roll and this walk on the second part. But we will keep that as a saved copy. When did I last save this? 1947-52, so this is purely the new movement in space. All of this was from my site streaming. 7, and this is just for tonight. How long have I been? Okay, an hour and 15. But yeah, thank you. I should stream more often. People like you see my work and I get advice. You know what? Yes, I like that. The jump itself is looking very good now. What I need to fix is this part. Starters. Okay, save that. Starters, he's coming off camera now. But then if I don't do it too much, the other. One is 7. How does that look with the jump? Yeah, I still don't like this silhouette here, but this coming down is quite nice now. Although I can be clever with the camera later, for now I just want to stick to my original camera view. Yes, thank you. Keep at it, I'm going to leave it there for now. The last thing I could say is that now you should try out the timing of the fall. You're on the right track, you've seen that those small changes. Yes, I agree. Yeah, we definitely want to keep that original angle. Yeah. Have a good night. Alrighty. I do want to fix this. Motion trail. So much. Everything's just one giant learning curve, you guys remember. Just falls down. This foot's definitely want to... Definitely want to favour it here. The IK hands now, because they've done so many changes to the translate Z axis. We have yet to actually update this axis. Yep, okay. I look at momentum again. We've increased 199 from 197. 201 should also continue going this way. Free is definitely an extreme. How does that look with the rest of the fall? Okay. I see it. Save. I'm getting thirsty. Hopefully this is working. Hey! Hello, person. I don't like this bit. It's the arms. Got a double gimbal lock here because of the FK-IK switch. Okay. Yeah, well, his body's going forwards, the rest of him's kind of going backwards. He should definitely be more further forwards here. Part of me wants to play blast this, see how it looks. I don't want the interference from my camera. It works. Something I don't quite like about it though. What is it? Alright, save this as 64. Perhaps if I have a look back at what it looks like before I did anything today. Because I need a comparison side by side. Yeah, makes sense. Like, it's so slow. Hit it up a bit. Now if I look at 63, might be time to come off if I'm feeling this beraggled. You did a good chunk of progress. Yeah, the fall looks so much better. But that was the aim of today. But the speed feels off again. At the very top, like it speeds up too quickly now. And if I have a look what I've done with the roll. Yeah. This bit. 189 to 190. Get that motion try back up. Which bits? Looking weird to me. I'll have a look. Yeah, I prefer it before. Motion trail off. Is it working? The run's working, the jump is working, the landing is what I'm unsure on. Like, it holds momentum. Okay, I'm clearly getting tired now, which also kind of makes sense because I had a shift today at work. So thank you for watching my stream. I had a lot of fun improving my stuff. I may have another stream on this particular animation, or I may move on to the other ones I want to improve, but I'm happy with progress today and how it's turned out. So if you want to catch me streaming, subscribe so you know when I'm live. But besides that, anyone that came down today or gives advice, thank you. You've helped me a lot. So yeah, I hope you had a great Christmas and I wish you a good New Year.